Let me tell you something before you go. Whenever people come see me live, I try to say something meaningful to people. You know, I'm in the laugh business. That's my gift. That's what God gave me at birth. Your gift is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. I want to tell you something that can help enrich your life. It's a sure sign from God that he ain't through with you because he wakes you up in the morning. When he's done, you won't wake up no more. But as long as you're waking up, that means he has something for you that he hasn't been able to give to you for whatever the reason. I'm going to help you get to that reason a little bit quicker. I want to tell you something that I learned that changed my life. I was reading a book one time that had a quote in there from Albert Einstein. And Albert Einstein said, "Imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions." If you think about that, that's a really, really true statement. Because everything you see in this world came from somebody's imagination. Everything. Somebody was talking on the phone one day, on that wall phone, connected to the cord, and tried to walk, and it didn't go no further. And he wanted to just go outside and get something out the car. Somebody said, "You know what? I wish I could take this phone outside." Everybody in here got a cell phone. It was in somebody's imagination. Somebody imagined that. Somebody imagined everything. Somebody got tired of walking. Somebody got tired of driving cars. Somebody said, "We're gonna fly." You're not finna fly. Everybody in here done been on a plane. See, your imagination is the evidence of things not seen. You know why they call it the evidence of things not seen? Your imagination, you the only one can see it. You're the only one can see it. See, so all this stuff you've been imagining was not some hocus pocus. When you imagine stuff, it's actually God showing you a preview of a coming attraction he has for you. That's what your imagination is. Why do you keep imagining yourself with a second home? Because God wants you to have a second home. Why do you keep imagining yourself in a supervisory capacity on another job? Because God really wants you to have that. Why you keep dreaming of opening a business one day? That's because that's what God really got for you. And he put it in your imagination. The problem with your imagination, though, is you tell it to the wrong people. If you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person. You can't, oh man. Think about this in your life. How many times have you had this really incredible idea and you took it to your family and your friends? You shared it with them and they shot it down. You know why they shot it down? Because they couldn't see it. Because God didn't put it in their imagination, he put it in yours. It was your evidence of things not seen. See, all this stuff you've been imagining, you ought to start working on it. Because that's what God really got for you. Your real life is in your imagination. I'm here to tell you that. You think I'm here by accident? I'm here because he put this in my imagination when I was 10. When I was 10, he showed me I was going to be on TV. That's all I ever wanted. The assignment when I was in the 6th grade was everybody write their name on a piece of paper and write what you want to be. You know what I wrote on my paper? I want to be on TV. Now, the problem I had, though, was I used to suffer with a serious stuttering problem. I couldn't talk outside my house. I stuttered for years. I flunked out of school. I'm on my 3rd marriage. I lost everything I ever owned twice. I've been homeless and lived in a car for 3 years. But at 10, though, I wrote on a piece of paper, I want to be on TV. So the teacher went around the room and read everybody's paper, had you stand up when she called your name, and the only assignment was your name and what you want to be. Doctor, lawyer, dentist, basketball player, football player. I wrote I want to be on TV. She saved me for last. She said, "Little Stevie, come to the front." Now I'm thinking, I'm going to the front because I got the best answer. Because ain't nobody had put that on their paper. She called me to the front. I'm thinking I'm finna give me a gold star. But I was wrong about that. She called me to the front to humiliate me. First of all, you know I can't talk. I suffered with stuttering stammer so bad, man. I couldn't talk at all. And that lady lit in on me. Why did you write this on your paper? Now I'm standing there, I can't talk. Who in this school ever been on TV? Who in your family ever been on TV? Who in this neighborhood ever been on TV? I'm crushing, man. I'm standing there dying. She said, look at you standing there. You can't even talk. How they gonna put somebody like you on TV? So every Christmas, I send her a flat screen TV. Because I don't want her to miss me. I do not want her to miss not an episode of me. Because I wanted her to see what God had done for me. The fact that you couldn't see it, it wasn't for you to see. He put it in my imagination. But after 3 years of homelessness, losing everything I ever owned twice, suffering through flunking out of school, go home and cut your TV on. That little boy with the stuttering problem, he all over that TV. You can't cut your TV on. You can't cut your TV on not a day of the week and you don't see that little boy. That little boy with the stuttering problem is all over that TV because God put it in my imagination. All I did was hang on to that thought. I just kept hoping. I just kept hoping that what I had wrote on the paper would come true. A lot of times it wasn't about no faith. I didn't believe it sometimes. When you homeless and living in a car, how you see yourself as a TV star? But I just kept hanging on there. Because my mama was a Sunday school teacher. I kept hearing her say, God didn't bring you this far to leave you. God didn't bring you this far to leave you. Why do you think he keeps waking you up? Because he got more for you. He got way more for you. He got plans for you. But he needs your faith. He just needs you to call on him. He needs you to dust off your imagination and just go for it. You got to try. Quit waking up thinking you ain't got no say-so in your life. You have a choice in this matter. You can't stop what happened to you, but you can doggone sure do something about what happened to you. Life is 10% what happened to you, is 90% what you do about it. Somebody in your family gonna die. Somebody in here gonna get fired. Somebody here gonna get an eviction notice. Somebody gonna get laid off. Somebody company gonna close. That's life. Somebody you love gonna break up with you. That's life. But what you gonna do about it though? Since it's gonna happen anyway. Trust me, go home and ask God to open up your imagination and then pursue it with everything in you and watch what he do for you. Appreciate y'all.
Hello to everybody joining us this evening. Greetings to everyone. Joining us this evening for our business. Okay. And again, thank you for joining us. And if you missed last week, you missed a treat. The seminar series, it was off the chain. Our presenter was powerful. We've posted a link from that last week's session in our chat. You can actually watch it or you can actually rewatch it if you want to. It will definitely re-energize. So right now, Tammy, tell me what resonated in your spirit from last week's session?
I want to highlight our guest speaker from last week. She was absolutely amazing. We had Miss Kira Cobbs on last week. She is the founder of Think High and Actuate. She is not only a great business consultant and speaker, but a published author as well. And we want to support her books, which are listed on the flyer here. And one of the ones that sparked my attention was I Am Ruth. I Am Not Okay. Join us in supporting Miss Kira Cobbs by purchasing her book. You should see a link in the chat. There will be a link posted in the chat for you all to be able to purchase her book, as well as to a link for her consulting services as well. Vicki, tell me what resonated with you from last week's section.
I really liked when she said to create a business that can operate without you. To create a business that can really operate without you, and not to feel like that you have to create a business based on your hobby. You don't necessarily have to do that. So that's something that resonated with me. And she let us know that if something happens to you, how would your business survive? So you want to create a business based on all the people that you bring in to actually make all the different pieces work together. So that's what resonated in my spirit about that one.
And I want to add a couple of things. Freedom of your time. You're working a job, they get an opportunity to tell you what time to clock in, when to take lunch. So everybody on here tonight should think about starting their own business. Why? And she talked about why ownership was important as well. So you have to go check out the last week's series to get the rest of those nuggets. A couple other things she said: don't stay married to the same ideas. And don't be afraid to pivot. Be open to new ideas, especially when you get stuck. All of us have issues in our business, but if you get stuck, start thinking about what can I do to pivot? It could be changing up a couple of different things that you're doing in your business. And also, it was a question, I believe, in the chat where somebody asked about a mentor. So she said that a mentor is everything. She has a couple of mentors herself. And mentors are all around us. So you have to decide on who that person would be that's going to fit and match whatever it is that you're doing. So those are some of the things that I thought resonated with me on last week.
That is a great recap, Sora Tammy. I do want to mention, though, our motivational video that we just watched. I don't know if anybody got something amazing out of that video, but I did. I like what Steve said. He quoted, imagination is everything. It's a preview of life's attractions. Mm-hmm. I thought that was amazing, because I know what the Bible says about imagination. The Bible says, actually, hope. My faith is built on nothing less but Jesus' blood and righteousness. Imagination is the evidence of things not seen. So I thought that was really amazing.
Yeah, and I love Steve Harvey. I listen to his stuff every single day. On my phone at night, I pop up and I listen to a lot of his stuff. But a couple of things that I want to say: wake up every day on a mission. Right. What are you going to do with that 90%? And I say every night, it's about every night. There's so many things that go through my head. So I'm always imagining and thinking about so many different things. So I wake up at night and I jot those things down. And the last thing that I want to say, the fact that the lady didn't believe in him did not mean that whatever his dreams weren't going to happen.
Absolutely. So, right.
Have a dream, stick with it, pray about it, and go for it. Dreams don't work unless you do.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I totally agree. So that motivational speech was definitely awesome. I do want to go back and re-listen to it because it was just that good. Right now, we just want to pause the floor just to say, remember to click like and share. And also you subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm sorry. And right now, I want to take a time to just do a synopsis of our IOTA Business Month, just to let you know why we are doing what we're doing. Business Month, IOTA's capstone programs occur throughout the month of April. Activities focus on efforts to stimulate activities and our interest in business, education, and to recognize to those who have made outstanding achievements in the field of business. So that's the reason why we do that. We want to definitely say hello to our chapter president, Dr. Miranda Avant Elliott.
Hello.
As she may not be on the call tonight. So Tammy, if you could go ahead and introduce our speaker, we should be ready for that.
Oh, yes. I have the privilege of introducing our guest speaker for the evening. Her name is Angela Bishop. She is actually one of my sponsors. She is in Love, Spark, and Glow is the name of our team. So she's part of that. She is a mom of 3, soon to be a wife on June 7th. So if you I want to say congratulations in the chat. She's a certified pharmacy technician with over 10 years. In the last 7 years, she battled having lupus and type 2 diabetes. She had to slow down on working outside of the home so she could take care of her health. She had a gastric bypass in 2023, which saved her life because she couldn't get her diabetes under control. She has an online women's ministry where she loves praying, encouraging, and pointing to others and sharing God's word. So maybe she can close us out on the prayer tonight. In 2021, she joined Paparazzi Accessories as an independent consultant. And this is where her passion grew for content creating and creating digital products using Canva. And she's going to be sharing some of those tips with us tonight. She had to step away from paparazzi because of her health back in April 2024. She rejoined because she had a servant heart. She enjoys connecting with people. Her son was also diagnosed with autism and PNES in January 2025. And this is where she had to go all in with her jewelry business. So she came home from her visiting with her son in March 2025. She had a team challenge where she had chosen to lead her team. Growing and Glowing is the name of her team. So she back in March 24th, 2025, she empowered 5 creative corners, which her 5 creative corner was created because she received so much great feedback on her graphics and things. So she made helpful and tips. She has the patience. She walks people step by step, learning how to create digital graphics through Canva. And that's what helped elevate her business. Welcome to the stage, Angela Bishop.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. Well, first, let me say I just really appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to take on the platform and just really pour into people. That's definitely a gift that God has given me. And learning to just walk into my purpose is kind of the season that I'm in and embracing it all. So I thank you for that opportunity. Do y'all want me just to get started?
Yeah.
Okay. So, my name is Angela, and I am an independent consultant with Paparazzi. And with that, I kind of birthed the Creative 5 Corner, where I have the patience that most people don't have with people who have not that creative touch or need that step by step of how to do it. Everybody is not that. Just tell them and they can do it. Learning who you are as far as learning, as far as like some people, you can just speak it, they got it. Some people are hands-on, they got to do it over and over. So learning those things, and with my ministry, that kind of helped mold me into understanding of meeting people right where they are. And, even you guys were talking about the pivotal points. I watched her name is Kira, right? I apologize if I say her name wrong.
Yes.
But I watched her and it really spoke to me because she said, own who you are. And I am one that I talk a lot, but it's because I like to pour into people. And sometimes it clashes with the jewelry business because I show less jewelry and more pouring into people, praying over people, encouraging. But when she said that, you owning who you are, that is me. That is the gift that I have. So that blooms into my business, that blooms into, not just me, but the people that is coming underneath me and my own team. And then being able to touch through other teams, big elite teams, all these other people that God has given me that opportunity to do it. But today I just kind of wanted to touch on the basis of like your true well-being and time management. For me, like you guys kind of shared, like I've gone through a lot in the last few years. And sometimes God will slow you down. God will like, look, we can be stubborn. And for me, when I get like that, it's always my health. And I'm like, okay, God, what are you trying to do? And in this season, I'm in a pivotal season with my son being diagnosed with autism and things. I was like, God, like, I don't know what to do. Like, how am I going to do this? He needs me at home. And being fearful, like, can I do this? And listening to Steve, I kind of got teary-eyed because it was like, everybody is not in your corner. That's family, that's loved ones, that's people. Like, everybody's not going to support you. And for me, I found like my biggest supporters are people I've never met, people I'm meeting along the way, and being okay with that, being okay of, who God is aligning in my path for me. And so when he said, your imagination, I always feel like, man, like, is this for me? Is this not for me? We become doubtful. And so there we go. But when, God is moving you and God is trying to direct you, you have to make sure that you stay in alignment. And when he said that, allow your imagination to be, God gives you these visions. And for me, I always say, man, God will give me a taste of this and God will give me a taste of that, when I first joined paparazzi, I was making $2,000 to $4,000 a week. And then I got sick. And so it was like, God was like, hey, let me show you what you're capable of. And then when it was the season that it was time to go into, then I was able to move forward. But in this transitional phase that I am in currently in my life, it's like, being bold in who I am. So if they want to go ahead, if you can go ahead and start the slideshow, and then I'll share you guys a little bit more. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. So the PowerPoint says, walk into your purpose, get serious about your vision in your heart, decide to not give up and achieve your dreams. You will never know the possibilities your business can bring you and your family if you don't work your business daily. You will never have the perfect schedule. You will never be fully prepared. You won't have all the gear and tools that you need, but you are ready to do it at the full capacity that you are able to maintain and be consistent with and have that balance. And it starts with your vision and time management. And that is something that I want to kind of touch on today, and it'll kind of all tie together. We can go to the next slide. All right. So getting back to the basics, there's no set number of hours required to work your business, right? As an entrepreneur, they work from 40 to 60 hours a week or even more to build their business. And for some of us, we're like, oh my God, I'm juggling at away from home job, then I'm trying to start a business, and I have family, a husband, a wife, all these things, and it becomes like overwhelming. And so the key is to be consistent and have balance. So this can include working evenings or weekends, but most importantly, staying intentional with your time. So remember your why. So your why. So what is motivating you to start your business? What is motivating you to even continue every day? Your why is that fire within you. And like Steve was saying, like, God will give you these, these images or these things, like you want a bigger house, you want, to be, a manager or a supervisor or run your own business in whatever field that is. And he gives you those visions so that way that pertains to your why. Your why is what's going to continue to ignite you every day. As I always say, you know it's a passion of yours. You know it when you're literally eating, sleeping, and drinking it. When you are constantly like, hey, your mind is constantly going like, what can I do next to do better? If this didn't work, how can I, go back, and revamp it? And some of the things I always say, like asking God the right questions. I always say to you guys, I'm a woman of God. So everybody, knows that. Start asking God these questions. God, if not now, then when? If not where, then if not here, then where? If not now, show me. Because sometimes God doesn't give us all the pieces to our blueprint, but he allows us to have that imagination that ties into our why. You can go to the next slide. And I think you can go again. I just grab some paper, you guys, if you want to take some notes, and then you can go to the next slide. It's all about entrepreneurs and time management. You can go to the next slide. So the key is being productive. So we're going to break it down to a few points. So initial investment of time. So when you start running your business, it requires a significant time commitment. So especially the first few years or even longer to get your business off the ground, you must build your network, learn your product, establish your personal brand. So many entrepreneurs find that a minimum of 60 hours is the average time invested needed, especially if your goal is to quit your current 9-to-5 job. So you guys can put in the comments, like, how many of you guys would love to be able to work from anywhere, be on vacation? When you're doing presentations and stuff, you guys get that little thing on your phone that goes, bing, bing, cha-ching, cha-ching. Like, as you guys said earlier, right? You want to be able to, make money while you're sleeping. You want to be able to build a legacy, but it takes work. We don't have money trees just sitting out here in this world, right? Cost of eggs is, crazy. All these things, all this stuff is becoming more and more expensive, but it takes time and dedication and commitment in order to build your brand, to build your business in whatever field it is that you're wanting to do. So in order to become your own boss and create your own schedule, you got to put in the work. So y'all put that in there. Are you willing to put in the work? You have to be able to put in the work, because as we know, faith without work is dead. And you guys, I'm not just speaking to you. I speak to myself every time I have the opportunity to pour into anybody, is the fact that we sometimes get in our own way. We have so many excuses of, I don't have enough time, I feel sick, or all this and that. But when it's God as the core of it, God will give you the strength even when you're low, you guys. Right now, and you guys probably wouldn't even notice, but I've been dealing with vertigo the last 3 weeks. Since March 18th, I have not been to work. And so I was like, oh my God, like this just happened all of a sudden on top of everything else. And I was just like, Lord, I saw it as, oh my God, money is not coming in. But then I had to look at it as God's perspective. I kept saying, right? We got power in the tongue, you guys. We got power in the tongue. I kept saying, I don't have enough time to pour into the business. I don't have time. I'm getting pulled over here for my son, pulled over here for work, my health. And God said, okay, power in the tongue. I don't have enough time. Let me give you time. Let me stretch this out. Now you're going to sit still. Now you're going to have some extra time. And now let me see what you're going to do with this time that I gave you. Are you going to be obedient to what I'm allowing you to do, which is sit at home and heal, but also you can work your business. You can do what you're needing to do. You can start creating, doing the things that you're needing to do. Sometimes we get in our own way of what God is showing us. God will put it right in front of us, that person that can be our mentor, that person that can help us elevate to that next level, that person that can, if you don't have that creative mindset, that person that can create and say, hey, I need your help. Sometimes we're fearful of asking for help, asking for a mentor. Sometimes we beat ourselves up of like, I don't want to bother nobody. But hey, God is like, I put them there. But if we keep ignoring it, we shatter our own blessings. We can go to the next slide. All right, so this was kind of a breakdown. So there's what, 168 hours in a week, right? So you minus your sleep time, your work time, if you work outside of the home. For instance, I have here, like, right, I work for paparazzi, you know, all the other things, right? Your errands, your cleaning, your children, cooking and cleaning, going to church. So that leaves about 19 hours of unaccounted time within a work, you know, in a week. But that's enough time to build your business. That's enough time to be able to build a at-home career and do so much. But are we intentional with our time? Most of us know, right? We spend more time scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, watching Netflix, when we could be doing other things. We can be, you know, pouring into our business. We can be networking with other people. I told Tammy, like, I am so grateful that, you know, that we had, that she even like mentioned me, because I even told my upline, I was like, man, like, I don't feel like I'm qualified, because my creative corner, it is a business, but I don't charge nobody for it. I don't, get anything, financially out of it. It's because of my servant heart that I like pouring into people. So then I was like, is it really a business? But it is. You just like your life is your testimony. You are your business. You are your network. So what you are willing to put and believe in yourself to do, it'll pour out into others. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity, because it has also opened my eyes to the capacity that I have, not just within paparazzi or the business that I have, but blooming into other things. When you network, God opens doors to show you your worth, to show you that you have a purpose, to show you and surround you around people that's going to encourage you, that's going to push you. Just like with Kira, and I apologize if I'm saying her name wrong, but owning who you are and owning your assets, your finances, your business. You want these things for you, so that way you have something to leave behind for the next generation, your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, different things. You want God to position you to be a blessing unto others, but he can't do that if what? We're not intentional with our time to work our businesses. We get in our own way. Oh, she said, I love this slide. Thank you. We can go to the next slide. I'm going to try to move fast, you guys. I'm sorry. All right, so let's break it down. So your business can give you flexibility to work your business from anywhere, right? Who doesn't like being at the beach and being able to work at the beach, or go on vacation somewhere, or just be sitting in the comfort of your home, right? To be in your comfort of your home and work and just, be with your children or your grandchildren or just family. Or like for me, I'm getting married, you guys, in less than 50 days, right? And again, the power of our verbiage, the power of our tongue. If we want flexibility, if we want to be able to go on vacation and take a cruise and not have to clock in and be like, hey, or request time off and be like on a hope and prayer, like, oh, am I going to be able to get this time off? Are they going to grant it to me? Or, oh, I'm sorry, I can't get off work because, they don't allow us to be off during this holiday or that holiday. So it puts that fire in you and this is like the perfect time with the economy and how crazy it is, to pull out your purpose, pull out your gifts, write it down on paper. You guys, I'm a firm believer about journaling and brain dumping and really writing out your vision. God tells us to write it out and make it plain, and he will give you the blueprint that you need. But we have to do what? Be obedient. We have to be able to show him that we can be obedient with the small things he gives us. For example, for me, right, in my nice little apartment, right? But if I can't maintain my apartment, how can I ask God for a house? If I can't maintain my bills because I'm not taking care of my finances, how can I ask God to stretch my finances? If I can't be, focused and intentional with my time, how can I ask God to give me the flexibility of the time that I need? He's not. Because then he's going to be like, well, if I give you all this open time, all you're doing is scrolling. All you're doing is gossiping on the phone. All you're doing is worrying about what Susie's doing over here or over there, or what this person is doing over here, instead of being intentional and focused on what's right in front of you, your priorities. So we have to be very, very, intentional with what we're seeking and what we're asking God, because if we want the flexibility to work from anywhere, we have to stay consistent. With consistency is the key. So even with short focus periods of every day, carving out that time of, hey, today I'm going to work my business, for 2 hours. I'm going to be intentional with my time, and have that understanding and communication with your families of, hey, this is what God has put on my heart. Because at the end of the day, we're doing it for ourselves, but we're also trying to build a legacy around us with everybody that's connected to us, believe it or not. Because what did you guys just said? We just said, right? Create a business that can operate without you. So in order for that to happen, we have to train other people. We have to show other people the ropes. Rather, that if it's a family business, it's your husband, your wife, your nieces, nephews, daughters, grandchildren. You have to be able to teach somebody else. But if you're holding it all in and you're all over the place, you're not going to ever get that business where it's going to create even when you're no longer here. Scheduling and productivity focus. So you must work your business like a true business. Creating a work schedule is essential to having balance and staying consistent. So time blocking, you guys, Google Calendar is my best friend. I like to time block, meaning, so like my morning routine, my afternoon routine, my evening routine, and kind of putting in there like my non-negotiable time frame. So whether that's a doctor's appointment or family time, I plug all those into Google Calendar first, and then I can see realistically, okay, I don't have 5 hours in the morning to really work my business, but I can dedicate 1 hour for sure every day, Monday through Friday, or every other day. So you have to be intentional. And I'm a visual person. So if you guys are a visual people, put that in the comments, because this is something that I've learned, not just within my business, but also within ministry, right? We have to know who we are and how we operate. And if we don't know, like, are you a hands-on person? Are you a person that needs to learn something repetitively? Are you a visual person? Do you have to write out a schedule? Or, everybody got that good, most of us have these iPhones, right? Hey, Siri, put in my my schedule, block this time frame out, and be intentional with that. And first and foremost, you guys, if I can't tell you guys nothing else, keep God first. When you wake up in the morning, give God his time, because we get so caught up as mothers or just people in general. We wear a lot of hats, especially moms or single parents, right? Mom, dads, we're the doctor and the nurse at home. We're the cook, we're the, cleaning, we're doing all these things. But then we get so hectic, especially when you're a business owner, right? You got to do this meeting, you got to create this, you got to check an email here, you got to do that. And then what happens? The first thing most people do is put God on the back burner. And that is something that we don't want to do. When you wake up, let's thank God for the time. First of all, waking us up with being in our right minds and the use of our limbs. And then we thank God for the opportunity to work our business. We thank God for vision. We thank God for our imagination. We thank God for the drive that we have, that we can be intentional with our time. And so, again, in order for God to give us and bless us with that flexibility, we have to show him that we can be intentional with the time that we do have available right now to work our businesses. Okay, you can go to the next slide. All right, so here's just kind of and I know it's kind of small on the screen, so I apologize, but for an example for time blocking. So I'm a creative person. I'm a creative content creator. So that's like making YouTube videos, making, PowerPoints. You guys, I'm a very visual person. I am a hands-on person. Now you can tell me now, when I say I'm a visionary, there we go. That's the word I want to say. God has blessed me to be a visionary. So I can look at something, and when I say anything, right? That's a t-shirt, that's decorations. You walk into Hobby Lobby and you're like, "Ooh, I like that." And Angela is that person you would connect with and be like, "Angela, I saw this garland that I want on my house for Christmas. And can you recreate that?" Absolutely. Send me a picture and I promise you I can get it done. And that's with anything, shirts, tumblers, all these things and learning that God has gifted not just my mind of creativity, but my hands. I can create so much. And then I fell in love with digital content because it's so open. You know, you can create magazines, you can create logos, you can create, you know, all these things for marketing. So knowing your business, kind of like, I didn't know, joining paparazzi, what is, you know, network marketing? What is direct sales? Like, I had no idea what all that entailed. Okay, hit the live button, go live, show some jewelry. But it's so much more than that. So understanding your business, understanding at what capacity do you need to work your business? You know, how are you reaching your people? How are you getting your product and services out to people? And 90% of the time, you guys, because our world today is all electronic, at some way, form, or fashion, you're using digital content. So breaking it down. So number one, it says divide your day into specific blocks. So content creation. So having a time frame or a day where you're just researching on the topic that you need to do, the product that you're creating, or service that you're going to be doing, you know, writing your scripts, if it's a presentation, if it's, you know, I don't know, for me, selling jewelry, like what's my theme for this week, or what am I going to be focusing on? You know, if it's a service for somebody, how are you mentoring? Are you creating content that's teaching? Like, are you creating, you know, teaching content on how to do this? Is it A, B, C, and D? You know, all these different things, you have to be able to write it or script it out. Then you have your filming time, your editing time, your scheduling, and your lives. However you present your business, that's time. So if you can't balance just that little piece of the block, everything else falls apart. And so then, you know, then you still got to engage, right? So for example, with us here on YouTube, you guys are, you know, however, what other platform you're on watching, right? Then it's up to us, right, to go back and interact with you guys and go back and say hello in the comments and glad you're here. That's time. But if we don't manage our time, we lose the traction that we have with our customers, or the people that we're marketing to. And then of course you have your administrative work, that's emails, invoicing, you know, packaging, shipping, customer engagement, you know, all these different things, follow-ups that you have to do. It takes time. You can go to the next slide. Does that make sense? You guys put in the comments if it's making sense what I'm saying. Then we have 3 and 4 here. So we want to make sure that you prioritize your time blocks. I think we missed 2, but you don't have to go to 2. So being realistic with your time blocks, like I said, really write down. If you guys have never been a planner, you guys, I love planner. Oh, it's fine. You can go to number 3. I mean, yeah, that's fine. If you have not been that planner person, you guys, I really recommend, rather if it's a digital planner on your phone, because you want to be able to make realistic time settings for what it is that you're needing to do within your business. Because you don't want to burn yourself out. I did that, you guys. I used to, when I first joined paparazzi, I was so on fire. But when I say I wasn't sleeping, running my women's ministry and the jewelry business, because I'm a creator. When it starts going like, oh, I want to create this, I want to do this. And some of my followers here, you know, my sisters on and all these things that, you know, I was making shirts, tumblers, jewelry, you know, doing jewelry, making planners, you guys. I literally learned. I watched somebody on YouTube and I was just like, I can do that. Why am I paying for it from Happy Planner or different things like that? Like, I can do that. So I started making planners. So it was just growing and growing, but it goes back to my capacity. God was showing me that I'm gifted to do a lot of things. But was I at the capacity that I needed to do to maintain it? No, because I was like pouring. Like, what do they say? Too many hands in one bucket. That was me. And so making sure that you prioritize what's important, being realistic with your time, batch creating. If you guys never have, how many of you guys in the comments have you heard of batch creating? Put it in the comments and I'm going to touch on that in just a second. Batch creating will save so much time of your creating and marketing for your business. But in order to batch create, you have to know your priorities. You have to make sure that you're allocating enough time for everything. So like you have a little schedule here, like 8 to 9, you're going to do emails, 9 to 11, you're going to go live or, do your teaching. And then you have your noon, your live recap, then lunch. Always schedule yourself time, right? You have to have your lunch. You have to make sure that you are resting because you don't want to burn yourself out. Oh yes. Okay. So some of you guys have heard of batch creating. So, and then you have to implement in time to adjust. Every day is not going to go perfect, you guys. We get sick, things happen. So being able to give yourself grace, that's so important because every day is not going to be a great day. Every day is not going to go the way we planned or envisioned. So being able to go back and you guys, if another thing here is at the end of the month, do you guys, if you're business owners already, do you go back at the end of the month and say, hey, what could I have done better this month? What worked and what didn't work? And allow your time to review and adjust. That should be done regularly and put on your schedule for adjustments. Even if you have a team, hey guys, what worked and didn't work? What got, engagement from people, and didn't. So that way you have, wiggle room to adjust things and then see for the next month what goes better, if that makes sense. All right, you can go to the next slide. All right, so this is my favorite part, you guys, of the show, and I just hope that you guys get something out of this part, if everything too, but this one is the most important. So balance and well-being. So while long hours may be necessary initially, it's crucial to find a balance and prioritize well-being to avoid burnout. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about, your true well-being. So nurturing our spiritual, physical, mental, emotional selves is a necessity. So bringing a balance between these 4 pillars of existence is important because they all work together. Okay. So in order to function properly, right? So you say, if you're not feeling well, what happens? You don't go to work. If you don't go to work, that means the finances are being, not going to be the same because you're not going to work. They all work together. So spiritually, if you're not spiritually in tune with yourself and in alignment, then, then your emotions get all off. And then, if your health is not right, then your emotions are not right. So then it falls into I don't feel like working today. I'm just going to lay in bed and all these things. So being in tune with all these areas is very, very important to have a balance. Our mind is a vast library of our knowledge and our experiences. Our emotions are like the colorful palettes of feelings, and our spirit is the essence that ties it all together. They all work together to bring us balance. Each of these aspects play a crucial role in our overall health and happiness. So, and when they are in harmony, life takes a whole new dimension of fulfillment. So if you neglect one, the other suffers. So nurture them all and watch how they all flourish in unison. So I'm going to give you guys a scripture here. So in Proverbs 17:22, it says, a joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. So the benefits of this is achieving balance across all areas is nothing short of life-changing. So you guys tell me, imagine waking up each day spiritually aligned, feeling energized, clear-headed, and emotionally stable. Can you guys honestly say, like, when was the last time that you woke up feeling so refreshed, so in tune in your business, in your spiritual life, in your home life, just like everything had a balance and a calmness to it? For most of us, it's very rare. We get it, we have the peace, but it's not on a consistent basis. So being able to give ourselves that time of, balance and healing is very, very, very important. And understanding the things of what we are needing to do to keep those things in alignment. So resilience is a key player. Life will throw you curveballs all the time, but it's our ability to bounce back that truly matters. So building resilience is like developing your emotional muscles. It takes practice and patience. So dusting ourselves off when things don't work out in our business, when we don't have the support from family and friends and all these things, it's okay. It's okay. Building that tough skin of, I got this. You're not going to give up on yourself, because at the end of the day, you are running your business. God is giving you the vision and your blueprint. He's allowing you to birth whatever it is, that business that you're wanting to create. So bringing all your areas of life in harmony really brings your meaning and purpose to your life. Your physical health matters, you guys. Like I said, struggling with diabetes was so horrible. I couldn't get my numbers down below 600 or 590. 600, I would have been in diabetic coma. Tried everything. I had to have the gastric bypass. And it changed my life. And I had to thank God that it gave me another opportunity, because I have 3 kids. I have a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 10-year-old. I want to be able to run with my children. I want to be able to enjoy life. And the route that I was going to be in an early grave somewhere. And I thank God for that opportunity, because I was being stubborn. I was burning myself out and not taking care of my health. So I challenge everybody to really look, and this is going to be the challenge. Take some time today, tomorrow, sometime this week, to identify areas that you have imbalance. Make a list: spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, business area. Like, what areas are not, that need to be tweaked, or things that need to be changed. Maybe you need to have more self-care days or time, so that way you don't have that burnout. Maybe you need to have those times to be able to connect and network with other people. Networking, you guys, I'm learning. I've never been a big networker. And so I'm learning, like, to get connected with people who are business runners, bosses, that people are out there networking, asking questions. Hi, how did you do that? How did you learn to, do this? Can you show me a book? Can you, is there a training that you did? Those things are very, very important. So I challenge everybody to do that, to really sit down and take some time to see what areas that you need to kind of work on, so that way you do have that balance in all areas of our lives, because that will bring consistency and balance, which will allow you to have that time management that you need. All right, we can go to the next slide. Did you guys get anything out of that? I think it's very, very important, because God cannot, bless us the way we want to if we're not taking care of all those areas of our lives. So our power hour. So implementing a power hour approach, focusing maybe 15 minutes, like bursts of minutes, focusing on one specific thing, which will come into the batch content, right? So maybe I say, hey, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour, I'm going to sit and record my training for today and next week. That's batch content. If you want to say, hey, today I'm going to sit down in Canva and I'm going to create images for the first 2 weeks of May, that's batch content. You want to be able to maximize on your time. I teach on maximizing on your content. So that is turning one piece of content into 10 things, right? So taking one video that you did, maybe a live or a training, and you go through and take snippets out of that and turn it into a Facebook story, an Instagram story, or a reel. You put it on YouTube, little snippets, because then that maximizes your networking across social media without having to use hours and hours of, okay, I recorded for Facebook, now I got to go record over here for YouTube. I got to do this. No, if you guys don't use Canva, you put that in the comments. Is everybody aware kind of what Canva is? Canva is a app that you can use, or you can use it online, where you can create videos, and they already have it set up where you can adjust the sizes for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, emails, all these things that you can turn it into. And it's taking that one video or that one image, and so that way you can, maximize it. So I always say maximizing it, turning one piece of content into 10 different things is life-changing. So how many of you guys would love to maximize on your time? Put that in the comments. So for example, one video or one image or video, you can put turning it into YouTube, a YouTube video. You can turn it into a TikTok video, a Facebook story. a Facebook reel, an Instagram story, a quotable graphic, an email snippet, a free resource template. You know, you can turn it into a picture of yourself and then, you know, sending them to your website or to, you know, a training, different things. You can use one piece of content and turn it into 10 different things. That's life changing. That is like bulk creating at a different level of one thing, turning it into 10 things and still being able to maximize and have that balance and consistency. So if you guys never use Canva, I highly, highly recommend it. So you are your boss. And so as a boss owner or a business owner, I'm sorry, you're responsible for managing your own time and your workload. Sometimes we want to take on so much individually. Ask for help, you guys. I am a big firm believer, especially if it's, you know, in business, of asking for help, creating a team. Now, of course, sometimes as you're for me, right, as a new, you know, business owner and things, maybe you don't have the finances to, you know, pay for a secretary or an assistant or different things like that. But training, that's a good training moment to say, hey, your niece or a husband or a wife or a friend, and say, hey, you know, can you come, you know, would you like to come help me be a part and just learn? Because you never know, that may open their door up like, oh, I can do this. And then boom, now you're not, you know, if you're building business partners, them seeing and being able to help you, not at a, you know, at a fee, but just to kind of see what you're doing, it'll open oh, I can do this. Oh, I kind of like this. And then it opens the door to bring on a business partner, or, you know, sharing somebody with what you're doing in your business. All right, next slide. I think that's it, I believe. Oh, almost. Almost there, guys. So importance of time management. So efficiency, balance, and stress. So efficiency is optimizing time used for maximizing your results. Your balance is attaining a balance between work and your personal life. And then stress, reducing stress through effective planning. So planning is a key to a lot of things. You can go to the next slide. All right, so these are the main things that I use, you guys, and I wanted to share with you guys just in case anybody has never used it before. So, of course, Google Calendar, I love it. For a lot of people use like Trello or different things like that, but Google Calendar I found is very, very, you know, hands-on and easy for me to use. Time blocking, you can color code it and you can really see the time that you have available. And Canva is, you know, I love it because you can really create your content planner. You can actually schedule your posts from Canva to Facebook and Instagram. And then there's other, you know, apps that you can use to schedule it on other platforms as well. But Canva has opened up a lot of doors as far as, you know, having that organization in your content planning for your businesses. All right, you can go to your the next slide. And this one is really simple. It's just kind of like an idea. So batch content like a pro. So kind of putting it into 4 keys. So your planning phase. So creating themes, you know, a sales planner, whatever it is specific for your business. If that is, you know, your seminars for the month, or, you know, for the next few months. Some people like to plan in quarters. I'm like that. I'm that person. I like to plan for 3 months at a time. That just works better for me, especially when I batch content. And then if you have pillars, like certain areas of your life that you, I said your life, but certain pillars and then your business. So what are the top 4 things that you're trying to present? And then you focus on those pillars in your business. So that way it shows through your platforms, across all your platforms. Then creating themes. If you have themes that works for your business. And then outlining and scheduling. So scripting your verbiage, you know, writing out your content, matching, you know, what you need to do in an image. You know, you want it to match your verbiage. You want, you know, you don't want a picture of you, I don't know, sitting at a lake, but then you're talking about, I don't know, working from home, but you're not at your home. You're at you know, you want it to make sense. You don't want it to, you know, what the picture is doesn't match what the verbiage is. All right, next slide. All right, and so just planning techniques. So organizing your pillars. Now, this is something that I highly suggest for most, if you're using social media, that's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, prioritize your pillars, you guys. So what is that one social media platform that you go all in for? So, and I say that because even for me, I had to start looking at, how did I grow my women's ministry? I went from 0 to over 2,000 followers in less than 6 months. How did I do that? And it dawned for me because I was like, man, my jewelry business is not booming like I would have wanted to do, but I was so focused on just Facebook, going live on Facebook. So God had to really like, Angela, hello, let's remember what we did before. And I was like, I went all in on YouTube. So understanding the different platforms and what they give you. So I'm learning, and, Facebook and everything is always evolving, but the posts that you make on Facebook and Instagram go specifically to your friends and some of your closest, people that's closer to them. But using your stories, using the reels, that goes out to new eyes. Now, YouTube has a broader point of it goes to all new eyes. It's like constantly going into hashtags, using hashtags of, for instance, for me, for jewelry, right? You can put K Jewelers, you can put Zales like in your hashtag, because when people look up these things, now you're in that jewelry realm, it's going to pull up those your video is going to pop up. So then you're going to get more eyes on it. So go all in on that specific platform and then allow it to grow. So that way you can pour people to the next platform, especially if you're needing to build a clientele base. You want to make sure that you're maximizing on that main platform. And so for me, guys, like I said, I'm talking to myself too. I'm going all in on YouTube because that is where I saw the most results. And then I pulled them from that platform, YouTube, and I said, hey, you guys love me on YouTube. I need you to now go join me on Facebook and join my private group. And I literally, within 6 months, I grew over 2,000 followers in less than 6 months. So maximizing where you get the most traction from and staying consistent there, and then allow everybody to pour over into the other platforms that you're using as well. Does that make sense? All right, guys, last slide, and it's going to be the conclusion. I just have a few points that I want to share. So conclusion is effective time management is crucial for boosting productivity and achieving a balance between work and personal life. By identifying priorities, planning effectively, and managing distractions, you can reach your goals and be more efficient in what you're doing. So do I have enough time? You guys let me know. I told you I don't want to go over on time, but just a few things I just want to leave you guys with is, embrace the changes. If you guys are if you're new to entrepreneurship, if you are been in it a while and things, embrace the changes. Be able to, as we said earlier, go through those pivotal points of maybe you're having to revamp some things. One thing that I had, I want to share with you guys is that sometimes look at your blueprint. Some of us have business plans and things like that. Look over your blueprint and ask yourself, is it time to declutter? Is it time to redecorate? And these are just, metaphors I'm using. Is it time to remodel your business, or is it time to demolish it and restart it? And be okay with whatever it is that God is showing you, or whatever that you're seeing within your business. Sometimes you got to take out some of the extra so that way it's not overwhelming for you. That's one of the struggles that I had within my ministry, because I wanted to meet everywhere everybody was at. Like, I wanted to make sure that the people who don't do scripture writing, they still had a Bible study to do. Those who don't like doing Bible study, they had a scripture plan to do. Those who just wanted to focus on prayer, like, hey, we had a prayer chain going. Like, I had so many things. I like annotating in my books. If you guys don't know what annotating is, I am a highlighter person. I love to highlight, color code, because that makes me slow down and really engage what I'm doing. And so teaching how to, verse map and all these things, teaching how to create images. And I shared with my upline, like, I went to teaching, one lady, and we're going to be on for an hour, and we were on for 7 hours. But that's the dedication that I have within my business. I'm willing to give my time to people. So kind of seeing, is it time to declutter? Is it time to redecorate your business, meaning rebrand your business? Is it time to remodel your business? Is it time to demolish and start over? Do you use chat? Man, I am glad you brought that up. Chat GPT always is a tongue twister for me. I had no idea what that was. And a part of Love Sparkle Glow, a part of our March Madness, that was something that somebody touched on. And if you guys don't know what Chat GPT is, that is a app where you can type in a question and say, help me plan out my content. This is my business. I'm a network marketer. I'm a jewelry seller. I'm a mentor. I'm a content creator, whatever it is. And you can put in a bit about your business and it will plan it out for you. So Miranda, yes, I do use ChatGPT. Now, I don't use it to the point where I copy it verbatim. I allow it to give me the ideas and I revamp it. Does that make sense? I repurpose what it gives me. Now, some of the stuff, absolutely, I'm like, man, that's spot on that I can do. Because sometimes it doesn't align 100% with the focus of what you're trying to create, especially if you're asking it for like a month's worth of a content plan. Sometimes it kind of gets off track. So I've learned if you use Chat GPT, that's one of the advice that I would give you. Don't ask it to do it for a month's time. Do it by a week and then allow it to process that and then tell it, okay, go to week 2. And then it'll do that and then go to week 3 because that keeps it more in alignment for you, specifically on what it is that you are your focus is on the content that you're needing. Does that make sense? And it does help with content batching. So let me guys give you an example and don't laugh at me, okay? No, you can laugh, you guys. So here's my Chat GPT. Woo! We thank God for Chat GPT. If you guys can see that, I know it has like that little glare, but I made the mistake of, I'm going to print it out what it gave me. And this was for the month of April. I wanted 30 days of like kind of video idea for YouTube for my business. And it gave me like a whole breakdown of things. And I was like, some of this stuff is really good. So I was like, Angela, let me hit the print button. And Lord, it gave me a lot of stuff. But if you don't use it, you guys, it is very helpful. I wouldn't say to go all, specifically on it for the whole thing. Like use it for an idea and then some of it absolutely use, but you want to make sure because the verbiage sometimes is not 100% right. Now, if they can put this in the comments, I'm going to tell you guys another app that I was introduced to, which is called the Now site. If you guys can put that in the comment, it's called Now site. It's in, let me open it again. It like Now, so NOWSITE. I want to make sure that I was saying it right, but it's called the Now site app. It is an app that you pay for. It does have a free version, but definitely it. And I'm gonna just give you guys an example, and you guys probably can't see it here, but you can put in like take a picture of yourself, take a picture of your product or your service, whatever it is that you're doing. You can take a picture of it and put it in there, and then it'll generate something pertaining to your photo. It'll say like if it was outside, it'll kind of bring it all in for you. For example, like I put a photo of me. I was sitting at the water on the computer, and it said, have you ever just had the joy of working from outside, working outside, enjoying the cool breeze? It kind of puts the post together for you. For Facebook, for Instagram, it puts the verbiage in for you with the hashtags, and all you have to do is plug in a photo. It does amazing. So it's like Chat GPT, but it's a different little angle where you'll actually just put the image in it. Sorry guys, it's Chat GPT you can also put an image in there, but they kind of work a little bit differently. So if you haven't had that one, definitely check it out. All right. Any other questions, you guys? And then I'm just going to leave this with you guys. So my business is called, or my group is called Empowered 5 Creative Corner, where I love creating different things, like I said, magazines, templates, graphic templates. I love doing, video templates, rather for Instagram, TikTok. Like all you got to do is drag and drop it. And just being able to help other people learn the process of it. So with the pivotal point, you guys, I'm actually changing our name because our business is also making a pivot in prices. So I'm actually changing the name to Legacy Lux Creative Corner. And just the mission, you guys, I want to share this with you guys. So the mission and the purpose is purpose-driven community for creatives, entrepreneurs, and business leaders committed to building with excellence, integrity, and intention. Our mission is to empower individuals to grow their brand, business, and mindset through practical tools like Canva, social media strategy, time management, and motivational support, all while keeping God as a foundation of everything we do. If I don't have, you guys, not one degree in anything, content, anything. I didn't go to school for it. It's just something that came naturally. So I leave you guys with this. Sometimes we beat ourselves up because we don't feel like we're qualified to do the job. And if I can't leave you with anything else, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And we have to be able to use our gifts and walk in our purpose. Do you have a link, your Canva, to your social accounts for posting, or do you just download them and post? No, you do link it to the social media platform that you're wanting it to post to. Any other questions, you guys? I hope you guys got something out of this. I truly enjoy helping anybody and everybody. My creative corner is definitely open to everybody. I am encouraging everybody, and that's just including myself. Like I said, I don't charge for my things, but as a business person, I'm understanding the purpose behind it, because life, you have to, money helps you survive, right, on our everyday basis. So don't put a cap on yourself. If I can't leave anybody with anything through this whole opportunity to share this with you guys, don't put a cap on your worth. I have been one that's been put in a box for so long that I am bursting at the seams, but I feel like, how can I say this? And I try not to tear up, sorry. God has given me a gift and patience that most people don't have, to help people that don't have that creative mindset, that struggle with using these different apps. Everybody's not social media savvy or computer savvy. And so it's very important that, you find that mentor, you find that person that can help you, and just, allow God to bless the fruits that you have in your purpose and your gift. Allow God to stretch your capacity. Allow God to truly just elevate you in your business. But remember to stay obedient, be intentional with your time, and make sure that you keep God first in all areas of your life. Keep that balance. And I promise you, everything will have that peaceful and that smooth journey. They always say when it's aligned with God, it'll flow. God will open those doors. God will put the right people in your path, that things will continue to go. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I thank you guys for the opportunity to even be on this platform. I've never done anything like this, so it's very exciting for me to be able to connect with others and just really grow. So thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much. This is a lot to unpack, Angela. This was an awesome.
I think she's freezing up. Like she said, it was a lot to unpack, and I really enjoyed it. And I just a couple of takeaways for myself is for all of us to remember what our why is. Remember what your why is, and what motivates you to continue showing up every day for your business. I thought you did an amazing job. I followed you, and I thought this was perfect for what we were doing for our business month, to be able to come on. And I sat in on one of your classes, and I hope those that are on here tonight get an opportunity to sit in on one of your classes that you offer in terms of Canva and stuff, just showing them and teaching them how to get that going. And some of the other things, don't just, I wrote that, I have this thing sitting on my desk right here. Don't just wish for it, work for it. And are you intentional with your time? She talked about, are you intentional with your time, networking with the right people to help you? You're not alone. You're not out here by yourself. Just like with her, she's out here helping other people to be successful in their business. Time management, balance. You are your own boss. You know, so take your time, whatever it is, to learn whatever it is you need to get. I need to get back on track. I've wasted a lot of time myself. So I am going to be doing exactly what you said, revamping my business. Also, and I encourage other people that are on the call tonight to do the same thing if you have to do that. We get in our own way sometimes. And I realized that, staying, like she said, just sitting and just scrolling, doing all of these things and I could be working my business rather than scrolling on Facebook, batch creating. This is what I learned from her, batch creating, taking one thing and making 10 things out of it. So that right there was powerful for me, and I started trying to do that. And one of the things I didn't hear tonight, what is it?
ChatGPT.
No, CapCut. I use that for your videos.
Oh, yes.
Real. So that's another one also. And my last thing, and I'm gonna get back to Vicky. Let Vicky close us out and give us. God qualifies the call.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I thought that was good. God qualifies the call. And don't put a cap on your own business or something like that. She said,
don't put a cap on yourself, your own purpose. Don't.
Right.
So those are all the things. So you did an amazing job. And like she said, I hope people took something out of it and get an opportunity to check you out again, lady. So I appreciate it. Love, sparkle, and glow. My boss was on here. So I thank her for joining tonight. So you can take it from here, Vicky. Maybe get an opportunity to share some
If
things.
I'm not frozen, I can go on. Can everybody see me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, thank you again for coming. I think Tammy did a great job of wrapping that up. So I'm not gonna I just want to say one thing is that remember your why. I think that I have to definitely tell myself that every day. Remember why you're doing this, because that is actually your motivation to keep going. So I thank you for that today. And we're going to close out. We're going to have Tammy do us a quick word of prayer, and then I'm going to give us some announcements, and we'll be out of here.
Okay, God, Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for your vision, your strength, and our opportunity and our purpose. I lift up our businesses on today, asking that you bless every idea, every interaction, and every effort. May integrity, excellence, and love be the foundation of all that we do. Grant us wisdom to make sound decisions, discernment in every partnership, creativity that flows from us. Help us to serve others with joy and to honor you in all things. When challenges arise, remind us that you are our source and our sustainer. Bless our hands to build, our mind to grow, and our heart to lead with grace. Let our business be a light, bringing hope, empowerment, and transformation to those we reach. May our business prosper financially, but impact lives spiritually and emotionally. Thank you and amen.
Amen. Beautiful prayer. Right now, we're just going to give a couple of announcements. Angela, you can stay on and listen if you want. Next week, we'll be doing Rise Up. And this is going to be an in-person session. I think it may be hybrid. So you'll be able to join in with us live on Facebook or on YouTube, as well as we'll have people to join us in person. So it's going to be Rise Up Business Banking Solutions and Real Estate Purchase. Okay, so we definitely want everybody to join us for that. And to remember that we have our Black Friday event coming up as well. This is an opportunity for you to spotlight your business and to possibly do some shopping and to support our own Black businesses. So that's going to be on Friday.
To 9 p.m. You can register. There are going to be some links posted in the chat for you all to be able to do that. And then the one, also there's going to be a registration for you to register for a vendor booth as well for the Black Expo. Don't forget that. We're looking for space for that. It will be, the fee for that will be $1. In correlation, there's going to be a powerful thing called Black Dollar. There will be a scholarship investment of $125 for each participant, which will be invested directly to local middle and high school and college students. We thank you all for being here tonight. Again, Miss Angela Bishop, we appreciate you coming on and blessing us tonight with some valuable information and tools that we can use for our business. So again, we thank you all for joining us, and you all have a great rest of your evening. Thank you.